Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Anime no Mi. Today, continuing with the One Piece videos, we will talk about the newest major revelation in the One Piece manga. As said in some previous videos where we commented on some possibilities that would lead Luffy to probably in this Wano arc finally awakening his devil fruit, but we didn't expect that the awakening wouldn't necessarily be Luffy's fruit, but Joy Boy's awakening. During chapter 1043 of the One Piece manga, after being defeated by Kaido, Luffy has apparently finally managed to awaken his fruit, but what is most striking are the words spoken by Zanesha, who is saying that Joy Boy had returned, and soon after we see Luffy saying the word Nika, which we know is the name of the sun god. In today's video we'll talk about some possibilities of what Zanesha's words could mean that Joy Boy had returned, what the meaning is behind the word Nika said by Luffy, and what relationship the fruit Goma Goma no Mi could have to Joy Boy. And I already count on your help to leave your like in the video to support the channel. I also hope you subscribe if you're still new here, and leave your comments saying your opinions and what the next videos you want to see here on the channel. Now let's go to the video. According to many stories told in the world of One Piece, Joy Boy was a man who lived during the Void Century, more than 800 years ago. It is not known if he was related to the D's, but it is very likely that there is a connection between them. It is said by Corazon that this D that Law carries has been changing this world for many years, and that he carries something deep along with him. So the D's carry a great mystery in which they have been changing the world for a long time. But what does this phrase have to do with Joy Boy? Well, starting with the part where Joy Boy appeared to be a very good person, it is said that he once tried to help the fish men bring Noah to the surface, but he cannot keep this promise. For not having kept this promise he was very sad, so to ask forgiveness from the fish men he wrote an apology message on a poneglyphs so that one day they would be able to forgive him. Joy Boy may have been a very gentle and peaceful man, helping people whenever he had the opportunity, even helping to free slaves, for he apparently possessed a great sense of justice. Which could mean that Joy Boy and Nika are the same person, because Joy Boy during the Void Century he could be helping the world to change through various actions like saving the fishmen and helping them to bring Noah to the surface, among various other things he could be doing in search of peace. For in the most recent chapter of One Piece it was revealed that apparently there is no sun god named Nika. In fact, Nika is just a way of symbolizing laughter or giggling. As such, Joy Boy was responsible for freeing the suffering people, but because he was a mysterious person and because his laughter had the sound Nika, this may have become his nickname. What may clarify that laugh Luffy gave during the end of the chapter? During his smile we see written Nika, meaning that name was just a sound his smile produced. This sound was only possible because of the supposed awakening of his Goma Goma no Mi, because some chapters before it is said that the real name of Luffy's fruit may not be Goma Goma no Mi, but another name that the Gorosei of the past gave it. For it is a legendary fruit, being the first legendary fruit mentioned within the One Piece manga, so the fruit has a special power attributed to it, a power which could refer to the past. As stated at the beginning of the video, Joy Boy may have a connection to the D's, and especially to the fruit Goma Goma no Mi. The surname D carries a great will, a will and purpose that has not yet been revealed. For years this name has been changing the world, and it may be related to Joy Boy, because he also tried to change the world through his actions to help all people who needed help. What may result is that people who have the surname D have a connection to Joy Boy, so they would be inheriting his will, but only a chosen person could inherit his true purpose. This person we have now seen who turned out to be Luffy. Let's talk about the possibilities that made Luffy the one chosen to become Joy Boy, and what it might mean to become Joy Boy. Starting with the legendary fruit that had its name changed many years ago, this fruit may have been possessed by a very powerful person in the past, this person who managed to shake the whole world. For the most important people within Sekai Sifu, like a few of the Gorosei, and even Im-sama, may know about her real name and what power she possesses, but they did not know that someone else could awaken her, because during the past they only saw it being used to its full potential, which made them not care that Luffy possessed it, because so far he only demonstrated that this legendary fruit had the ability to turn Luffy's body into a rubber, and the power presented by the former bearer was incredibly stronger, being a different power, making it difficult for Sekai Sifu to realize that the fruit Luffy possessed was the same legendary fruit that they had to change its name in the past. But seeing Zanesha's arrival, they soon realized that this awakening was soon to come. As we know, there can be only one person in the world with each fruit, but after its bearer loses his life, the power of this devil fruit passes on to another ordinary fruit, turning it into a special fruit. Therefore, there may have been several users of Goma Goma no Mi during these 800 years, so this power may have awakened only a few times. After all, the Gorosei mentioned that this fruit had not been awakened for a long time, but all indications are that the first bearer of the legendary fruit was Joy Boy, for through the power of this fruit he was able to help many people with a big smile on his face while carrying his straw hat. Being a possible D, he may have passed on his will to help the people in his lineage, thus giving birth to the D determination. All the DS presented so far had a big smile and a big big goal, always seeking to help people even if it might cost them their lives, but they were always in search of their goals. The only D that cannot have carried this will would be Teach, but we can talk about possibilities for him not having inherited the D's will in another video. All D's could become Joy Boy and carry his spirit and will, however it may be that some requirement for this needs to be met. More specifically, they needed to possess the fruit that Joy Boy possessed, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, but only one person in many years could possess it, because he had to wait for the former bearer to lose his life. So after many years this fruit was eventually eaten by a D, Luffy, making him a possible candidate to inherit the spirit of Joy Boy. But just possessing the fruit would not make Luffy Joy Boy. There might be a need for Luffy to awaken his fruit in order for the Joy Boy will to be truly awakened in Luffy's body. A proof of this may be Kaido's own words. He tells Luffy that he would never become Joy Boy, so it may be that Kaido had some information about this mysterious character or knew some character who inherited Joy Boy's will in the past. For whoever carries the soul of Joy Boy is also considered Joy Boy, and so, several people over the years became Joy Boy but were considered Nika, the sun god, and this because of his laughter. So only people who had knowledge of the Void Century or had some contact with some Joy Boy knew of his real title, while the people he saved only recognized them as Nika because of his remarkable laugh. It was only after Luffy lost his conflict with Kaido that he actually managed to awaken his fruit. Thus, he also managed to awaken the spirit of Joy Boy that would be in his body because he has the surname D. There is also the possibility that for some reason Joy Boy only awakened in Wano because we saw Zanesha going to that place as well as Kaido's phrase. It is not clear how this awakening will work, but it is very likely that Luffy will get some knowledge about who Joy Boy really was because Roger said that he was a very interesting person and that he wishes he had lived during his time. Roger only possessed the knowledge about Joy Boy through the poneglyphs that Joy Boy may have written for people to find his treasure, but the king of pirates could not become Joy Boy because he did not possess the legendary fruit. Then because he doesn't possess this fruit, he said he couldn't fulfill Joy Boy's goal, something he told Newgate, and therefore he couldn't take this treasure. So he leaves one piece for the person who possesses Joy Boy's spirit to take this treasure, which may mean that only Luffy will be able to get the treasure. Even Newgate tells Teach that he was not inherited Roger's will and could not become the pirate king. Then only the D who possesses the awakened Gomu Gomu no Mi has the ability to become Joy Boy, being able to acquire his great will to help people and free them from all suffering, besides also being worthy of being able to conquer the great One Piece treasure that the original Joy Boy possessed, since other people would not be worthy of possessing it. This would explain why Sekai Sifu was with Gomu Gomu no Mi, for the existence of more Joy Boys over the centuries could interfere with their plans, so a long time ago they finally managed to obtain this legendary fruit, and to prevent another D from seeking it, they gave the fruit a different name, classifying it as the rubber fruit and not by its real name, because there might be other people who could identify this fruit by its real name, so with its real name hidden it took many years for a new Joy Boy to emerge. This would even explain why they consider Nika a legend, as no one has been able to see him again for many years, because Sekai Sifa never allowed the birth of a new Joy Boy. Sama even hid the hat of the original Joy Boy so that no one would remember his existence, because if Joy Boy were to be reborn in someone else's body again, it could be a danger to Sekai Sifu. But possibly at Roger's request, Shanks' crew learned what the fruit was and went in search of it with a mission to locate the true heir to Joy Boy's will. In this way Luffy will now get the power to become the one who can defeat the entire Sekai Sifu and become the true king of the pirates, able to do something that not even Roger could do. But now I want to know what you think about Joy Boy and Luffy. Thanks to all of you for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed the content and information in today's video. We hope that we will always continue together talking about the news of the anime and the manga, so comment your doubts, news, or what you think will happen in the anime in the future. Also comment on the new videos you want to see here on the channel. We'll see you again in the next video. I'll wait for you here. Bye.